Michael Jordan once said, "Gambling is legal and betting is legal for what I bet." Sports gambling has been around since the beginning of the United States, and even the world for that matter. In that time, sports gambling has shown more positives than negatives of partaking in the activity. In my informative speech, I talked about the process and rules of sports gambling according to the NCAA, statistics for sports gambling, and I gave a few well-known examples of sports gambling, including the movie Goodfellas. I believe that I have credibility because I have seen one of ESPN's films playing for the mob multiple times, and it talks about the fixing of Boston College basketball games in the 1978-79 season. I am also a close Pete Rose follower who was banned from the MLB after betting on games during the 1985 through 87 seasons. I will inform you all of the following topics relating to sports gambling: how making it legal would eliminate corruption, how it could very easily cut down on organized crime, and the benefits it has on our government. Corruption is seen everywhere, in politics, news, and especially sports. Sports gambling being illegal paves a way for corruption through the three stated mediums. But legal gambling would wash out a very high percentage of corrupt people. Point shaving in sports is a very well-known topic. It is simply when an athlete takes money from various bookies or organized crimes and agrees and ensures that his team will not cover the point spread, which is a huge part of sports gambling. Point shaving is one of the most corrupt parts of sports. Many people believe that only 1% of athletes in the past 10 years have shaved points, but according to JSTOR.org, an astonishing 6% of athletes have shaved points in the past decade. Shaving points can be the easiest direct link between illegal organized crime and student athletes. By making sports gambling legal, it is said that shaving points would be a forgotten thing in the world of sports today. The NCAA works to preserve sportsmanship at the highest level to ensure the success of each student athlete as well as maintaining the integrity of the game. Making sports gambling legal would overall cut down on organized crime workings in college sports and preserve this sportsmanship. According to NCAA.org, the NCAA defines sports gambling as putting something at risk illegally, such as an entry fee or wager, in return for the opportunity to win something. Student athletes are viewed by organized crime and professional gamblers as easy marks for obtaining inside information or affecting a game's outcome. Point shaving scandals most of the time happen while legally betting in a casino or other places where it is legal to wager money. Making sports gambling legal would dramatically decrease point shaving scandals, specifically when they happen in places where it is legal to wager money. Corruption is a big part of illegal sports gambling in today's society, but what seems to be the biggest problem with illegal sports gambling today is simply organized crime. Making sports gambling legal would cut an enormous part out of organized crime in the United States. Organized crime, according to FoxNews.com, launders $140 billion each year by laying bets on sporting events. Making sports gambling legal would take away all of the $140 billion that is made illegally by organized crime each year, and it would also take a giant chunk out of the whole organized crime operation itself, which would dismantle organized crime, making it easier for this crime to be stopped. In places where sports gambling is highly run by organized crime, rates were much higher than in places where sports gambling is legal, according to library.ca.gov. There are already many safeguards on casinos that protect against organized crime, which overall stops their attempts to illegally wager money in casinos and in other establishments where sports gambling is legal. Legal sports wagering in Nevada, Delaware, Oregon, and Montana have had a dramatic effect on cutting down organized crime. According to the Washington Times, the NBA, NFL, NHL, and MLB have long supported the Professional and Amateur Sports Protection Act passed in 1992, which prohibits gambling in all states but Nevada, Delaware, Oregon, and Montana. Brian Toohey of Sports on Earth wrote that nearly $3 billion is wagered on sports in Las Vegas annually, but upwards of $500 billion is wagered in the United States each year. The Las Vegas wagering of money is all legal, but which has cut down the effects that organized crime has on gambling. If sports gambling were to be legal in every state, organized crime would make a fraction of what they make now. It's estimated that they would make only $1.4 billion of the $140 billion they are already making now. The cutting down of corruption and organized crime is a huge component of allowing sports gambling to be legal. But how does making it legal affect our government locally and nationally? Legal sports gambling can bring extra revenue to sports, states, and sports leagues. According to Forbes.com, millions of dollars could be made in each sports league if there was legal sports gambling in every state. These millions of dollars could go to enhancing team facilities and overall bringing in more money to each organization. Millions of dollars are being lost each year due to the popularity in offshore online betting sites, many of which aren't legal in the first place. New Jersey passed a law that would have 0.25% of every bet placed on sporting events go to the NBA, NFL, NHL, and MLB. There are already state lotteries, horse tracks, and casinos in states. Making sports gambling legal would be a very easy inclusion to this. Betting can make many of the sports more popular, plus state governments would get much more revenue from this, revenue that is already being missed out on every year. Legalizing sports gambling in each state would also take a big chunk out of the national debt, which would only increase the popularity of making it a legal activity. In conclusion, sports gambling has shown many positives to it being a legal activity throughout the country, and there are many negative things that can be put out of commission through the insertion of legal sports wagering. As a side note, there have been many talks in recent years of allowing sports gambling to be legal soon in every state for collegiate and professional sports gambling. So remember, if Michael Jordan says that gambling is legal and betting is legal, who are you to argue with the greatest basketball player of all time? Thank you.